Andrew Tate shares final message after being banned from social media. Andrew Tate has posted a video captioned "Final Message" via Vimeo, aiming at his extensively publicized ban from YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook. Andrew Tate has shared it through Jake Paul on Twitter, who tweeted a link to a website named Andrew Tate's Final Message and consists of an hour-long video of Tate addressing all the averments against him.
Put out content promoting violence against women, which is the case with Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate, a former kickboxer whose rapid rise to fame over the last month saw him Googled more times than Trump and Kim Kardashian, acquired his suspension from the platforms right after his widely publicized and controversial views against women.
Now that he has been blocked on various social media platforms,
Tate talked about his ban from Meta, saying he is very understanding and not mad about the platform's action. But also he said he feels the ban doesn't allow me to shift the public consciousness in a constructive manner.
The public consciousness has been polluted to a point where narratives are being purported which are absolutely and utterly false.
Andrew Tate said he feels the platform should have given him a warning instead, continuing on to say that he does not think his Instagram posts or captions breach the platform's guidelines. Tate begins the video by talking about his childhood, which he describes as challenging, both in his native Chicago and after his move to Luton following his parents' divorce. "I'm very, very happy that my life has been difficult because it's difficult to become a man of my capabilities without the struggles, without facing adversities, and without overcoming often insurmountable odds," he asserts. "Even from a very, very young age, I was taught that going to the authorities and crying and hoping someone else is going to fix your problems is not the way a man conducts himself." Tate claims that as a child, his father pressured him to deal with his own issues and not to go to the authorities.
"Son, if you want to deal with this, you're going to have to deal with it yourself,"
encouraging him to retaliate against bullies, including hitting one in the face with a lunchbox. In high school, Andrew says he had the reputation of being the guy no one really fools with, but he wasn't a bully. He says, "I actually had a friend in school who was gay. I have 5 main friends, and I was also friends with a gay guy.
I had 5 main friends in school, and I was also friends with a gay guy.
And he would make fun of me for being American, and I would make fun of him for being gay back then. But the world was a very different place." Andrew then continues in his video to say it was this gay friend who has pushed him to speak out about their friendship in relationship to Tate's ban across social media. "This leads me on to the reason I believe these narratives have gained such a foothold in popular consciousness, due to the fact I've been able to develop an iron mind, because I am probably the only individual who can be vilified to this level without taking personal insult and without being emotionally affected. I've allowed certain narratives to gain traction when I shouldn't have done."
What I've done is I've allowed certain narratives to gain traction, which I shouldn't have allowed to gain traction.
Andrew Tate asserts many things said about his views on women are untrue, but he never made any attempt to protest against what was being said about him.
And this is the reason why I have not tried to dispel these myths as hard as I could have, because I understood that these people are always going to hate me.
Because he felt like people would dislike him regardless. "I am fully aware that not everyone is going to believe what I say. There is always going to be someone who disagrees. I have no problem with people disagreeing with me, and I have no problem in being seen as controversial for some of the things I've said." Tate claims he does draw the line and has an issue when people accuse him of fabrication and affirms there are complete and utter lies being said about him. He insists he has no criminal record and denies all claims of it.
I've done nothing wrong.
And says his videos are chopped up and edited and modified to be taken out of context. Tate spends the most of the time in video trying to show that the image deduced of him is untrue.
Even though God and myself know of my innocence.
He describes, "To a degree, I am a victim of my own success. People are trying to find any little clip of anything I've ever said."
And to a degree, I'm a victim of my own success, because now people are trying to find any little clip of anything I've ever said, remove all the tonality, and just blow it up to try and get views to be as controversial as possible.
Remove all the tonality and blow it up to get views and be as controversial as possible. This has culminated in the media believing something about me that is so pertinently false, based on videos I have never made, purported, accelerated, and advertised by people I don't even know.
Taking a small clip from a 2-hour piece of video, then with careful editing, removing of tonality, and changing my intention behind the words, painting me to be a criminal or a bad person when I am not.
"I've become the #1 villain on earth, and I believe that is unjust." He claims he and his family got hundreds of death threats a day.
So do people who I love and people I care about. They also receive death threats.
But at the same time, the men text him thanking him for the inspirational influence he's had on their lives. "I understand why they did it. It doesn't matter if it's a negative view of women, negative view of men, negative view of sexuality. It doesn't matter what it is. It should be stopped. I agree with that. Instagram has a responsibility to show it is listening to the public.
The social media companies have yet to take any action against this.
I have some responsibility to bear. I still blame myself because my rise has been so meteoric and become so famous so quickly. My responsibility is that any negative connotations in my videos are removed. The way you say things in a video that gets 500 views is very different from the way you say things in a video that gets 50 million views. The more people you reach, the more important it is that people don't take things out of context. This ban is the hard reset I needed to tell the truth.
God and myself know my innocence.
For that, I'm thankful. This is a chance to move my social media purely to my charitable acts. Even if my Instagram is reinstated, it's only going to be about the Tate Foundation. There will be no pictures of Bugattis anymore. Sorry, gentlemen.
I've done nothing wrong.